And hello viewers, welcome to Science TV Prime News. I am your host RUTH WAIRIMU and this is my sign name. My sign language interpreter voicing Asta Kendi. Allow us to focus on the news. President William Ruto has directed the dismissal, arrest and prosecution of state officials implicated in granting a license to a gas storage and refilling plant in Embakasi. The plant's explosion resulted in 3 fatalities and 280 injuries, an incident that Dr. Ruto attributes to corruption and negligence on the part of the responsible state officers. The head of state's announcement follows statement from Energy and Interior Cabinet Secretary Davis Chirchir and Professor Kithure Kindiki, who revealed that the gas plant had been demolished twice in March of 2020 and January of 2021, with the operations facing legal charges. Furthermore, the Petroleum Institution of East Africa, PER, disclosed that explosion site had been subjected to a criminal case against the facility's owner since November 9, 2020, and all individuals involved were found guilty and convicted, with a sentence issued on May 18, 2021.
Licenses for gas installations in residential areas when it was very clear that it was the wrong thing to do, but because of incompetence and corruption, they issued licenses. Today we have injuries, we have Kenyans who have died. Those fellows who are involved in this, the ministry must immediately take action against them, and they must be dismissed and they must be prosecuted for what the crimes they have committed.
Kimani Ichung'wah, the majority leader in the National Assembly, has expressed confidence in imminent reconstitution of the Independent Electoral and Boundaries Commission. He believes that upon the resumption of parliamentary sessions, they will swiftly adopt the recommendations resulting from bipartisan discussion regarding the composition of the IEBC. Having participated in bipartisan negotiation during the national dialogue concerning the reconstruction of the IEBC, Kimani Ichung'wah is optimistic about the expedient adoption of the ensued report. Ichung'wah stressed the urgency of recruiting a new commission to prevent the constitution crisis, particularly as IEBC is tasked with commencing and completing boundaries demolition by the end of March. Speaking in Embu Town on Friday during an event where he joined Women Representative Pamela Njoki in disbursing bursaries and assertive devices to persons with disabilities, the Kikuyu constituency legislator affirmed his support for a recent High Court ruling mandating the immense recruiting of IEBC commissioners.
All those projects, as the president said yesterday, not a single contractor atatoka kwa site. Watakaa kwa site, waendelee, sababu zile pesa zilikuwa zimekusanywa bado ziko, even as we fight in court na wale saboteurs ambao wanataka kusitisha mradi wa housing. And because this program, we said, sio tu ya manyumba. Program ya housing is not just about houses or housing. It is about jobs. It is about employment. It is about these young ladies who will graduate from high school, go to universities, become architects and engineers, and where they will find jobs.
Hii mambo ya housing tunawaunga mkono. Hii mambo ya matibabu, mambo ya health ambayo mipango wako nazo. Kila mtu ana haki ya kutibiwa ya kwenda hospitali nzuri ili apate matibabu. Tunaunga mkono na tuko na wao. Na tunaamini kwamba mipango yao ni mzuri, lakini lazima tuwapatie muda.
Mimi nauliza wale watu wanapinga huo mpango, wanataka wale kina mama na vijana ambao wamepata kazi huko waende wapi? Watawapa kazi wao wenyewe? Na mradi huu rais amefanya, manake anafikiria juu ya kesho ya watu wa Kenya. Manake anataka apange vijana wetu, kina mama wetu. Na hapa Embu najua pia kuna mpango wa affordable housing ambao unaendelea. Ukienda pale utakuta ya kwamba kuna kina mama wanapata pesa pale ya kupeleka watoto shule.
The National Council of Churches of Kenya has accused the Kenya Kwanza administration of harsh taxation measures contrary to pledges made. Through a statement, the National Council of Churches of Kenya accused President William Ruto's administration of failing to listen to the people and uphold the rule of law, cut down the rising cost of living and borrowing by the government, and called for a setting up of a social and economic council to address the country's economic challenges.
The executive is progressively and visibly tearing down these boundaries, resulting in loss of confidence in the institution of governance. Your Excellency, we plead that you bring to an end the public attacks on the judiciary.
Your Excellency, this is a very worrying state of affairs, and there is an urgent need for remedial action. Policies that he is implementing are hurting Kenyans. The policies he is implementing is causing an outcry of Kenyans from all walks of life. The people are saying their payslips have been raided in a way that has never been seen before.
We now plead that you hear the cry of Kenyans and institute an independent audit of Kenya's public debt. It is a point of justice to let Kenyans know what they are paying for and facilitate legal action against any persons who have been involved in any irregular processes.
The government's allocation of 60 million shillings for the rehabilitation of roads in Teso North constituency has geared appreciation from local residents. The initiative aims to improve the condition of at least 10 crucial roads in the area, addressing concerns about the poor state of transportation and infrastructure. Member of Parliament Oku Kaunya, speaking at Kochalia Market during the commencement of the road construction, cautioned constructors against substandard work, emphasizing the risk of being blacklisted. Kauya acknowledged the Kenya Rural Roads Authority for funding the projects and highlighted the local constructors had been awarded the road construction contract, and he expressed gratitude for the government for increasing the infrastructure rehabilitation budget from 31 million shillings to 60 million shillings in the constituency, for overseeing improved connectivity for businesses and a boost in economic development. Hello.
kwanza waeleze umuhimu wa barabara na umuhimu wa hiyo culvert. Unajua culvert ndio inafanya barabara idumu.
Kweli.
Bila culvert hii barabara itabebwa na maji. Na hii barabara ikikuwa mzuri hata pia ndio inafanya value ya shamba iende juu.
Najua sehemu zingine hapa inahitaji tuweke maramu ya kutosha. Hasa kwa hii kona kuelekea kwa chifu hapo katikati huwa inaharibika kwa haraka, si ndio? Na pia culverts hapo tunaomba mbunge contractor wetu aweze kutuhakikishia kwamba maji yanateremka ili sisimame kando kando ya barabara.
The National Environment Management Authority, NEMA, has taken action by suspending 4 officials linked to the licensing of the Embakasi LPG plant, and that resulted in a fatal explosion and claimed 3 lives. According to a statement from NEMA's board chairman, Emilio Mugo, the Director of Environmental Compliance and Acting Deputy Director of Compliance, Senior Environmental Officer, and the Head of Environmental Impact Assessment are required to step aside immediately. Mugo highlighted that a decision made in February the previous year to issue an environmental impact assessment license for the project revealed serious gaps in the licensing procedure upon thorough assessment by the NEMA Board of Management. Principal Secretary for Irrigation, Emphatas Kimoth, stated that upon completion, the Lower Nzoia irrigation project will reduce the country's rice imports by 20%, contributing to the production of 140 tons of rice. These efforts aims to address the existing 700,000 metric tons of rice deficit. Mr. Kimotho made the remarks during a tour of the Bunyala irrigation scheme in Bodalangi, Busia County, alongside Cabinet Secretary Zakaria Njeru and other senior officials. The government's commitment involves expanding rice production by allowing 250 acres of Bura irrigation scheme. Busia Governor Paul Otuoma praised the national government's dedication to the project and pledged collaboration to boost rice production. Mr. Otuoma emphasized the country's support for cooperative societies to protect farmers from low-value transaction with middlemen.
We import a lot of rice from outside. Therefore, if we empower our farmers, then it will mean that import will reduce. So we want to encourage our farmers. Let's all know this. We are working together between the national government, the county government, and the farmers. So the farmers should use the best practice so that we can get the best from this scheme.
As the Ministry of Water, Sanitation and Irrigation, we have a rice deficit plan. As you all know, currently we are importing over 700,000 metric tons. In this particular project, the aim of this project is to make sure we at least address 20% of that deficit. That is 140,000 metric tons by the time the whole project is done. Currently, the project, as the CS has just said, will by end of the month we'll be able to put 3,000 acres into production, and in the next 1.5 years we'll be able to put another 7,000 into production, bringing total production to 10,000, which will give us at least per year 50,000 metric tons. Then when we go to phase 2, which will also progressively start and take another 2 years, by the year 2027, we should be able to get to the 140,000 metric tons, which will be able to cover at least 20% of the deficit of the rice that we have in the country.
We have come up with a cooperative fund whereby the farmers will be able to access government credits at completely friendly, because food everywhere in the world is supported by government. And this is what we are doing. And in collaboration, of course, with the national government, the way we are talking here, we do not only want to make Busia one of the biggest rice-producing areas, but we also want to be food-reliant, and we want money to go directly to the farmers. That's why, under our school feeding program, we have started buying rice directly from cooperative or from farmers through their cooperatives.
Thank you so much, viewers, for joining us here at Science TV. I have been your host, Ruth WAIRIMU, and this is my signing, and my sign language interpreter, Esther Kendi. Enjoy your night and see you next week. Have a good weekend.